Good afternoon, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. Today is my official weigh-in day. I can't wait. I've been dieting for 30 days on a health challenge that my local gym was doing. And so I've been giving it my all. And I may end up revealing the results after I go do my weigh-in. We'll see how that goes. But I know I feel good about it, and I'm excited. And really, there's a lot for me right now to be excited for. Not just that I feel like I'm healthier, but the buying opportunity. And, you know, I laugh a little bit, but I'm not laughing at anybody in particular. I'm just laughing because a lot of people, I think, aren't seeing... I don't know. I really don't know how to say this because it goes against almost every single one of y'all. I hate to say that. When I did that recent video, and like I said, this is not meant to be mean. So it's just my beliefs on this silver and gold. And I could be totally wrong. And maybe this is one of them things that I'm off my basis on. And everybody else is right. You know, I've always said... You know, be careful when everybody thinks one way, because either you're wrong or everybody else could be wrong. And I like to think that this is a pretty smart community. I'm already wondering if I'm rambling on too much about this. But I think people don't fully realize how quick the silver market could change. I've been reading everybody's comments. I did a video a couple days ago about $20 silver or $24 silver. First, what's going to happen first? I was shocked to see absolutely nobody wanted to stick their neck out on the line and say $24 silver before 20. Now, obviously, mathematically, we're closer to 20 than we are 24. So if I was betting on it, I probably wouldn't want to place that wager. However, we've seen a drastic drop in the silver price, and we've seen it happen too fast, in my opinion. A few factors that I think people aren't really thinking about is, first of all, China is in a huge holiday for this week, and that could have a big impact once they reopen. How low can we beat it down until they reopen? Because they may not be paying as much attention to it right now, where it is the holidays. I don't know if you guys have seen before. We see these huge beatdowns on silver or gold, and it always happens when essentially the markets are all closed, when no one's paying attention. Typically, not during the U.S. market hours, but not during the overseas Chinese hours and stuff. And that's when you see crazy stuff happen. Now, I think there could be a possibility that a lot of people are going to miss the boat on this buying dip. And it won't be the end of the world, because realistically, I bought a little early. I mean, when it hit 22.20, I bought a good amount. I've got 3 orders pending right now, which really put me in pretty heavy. But I've also got a couple more that I'm ready to place. I've been moving funds around, trying to figure out how I can scrape up enough to put another order in. I'm not willing to wait to see $15 silver, $14 silver, or $17. I'm looking now for the positions. However, one thing I do worry about is, obviously, I don't like to have too many orders pending at one time, because that's when I think stuff can get crazy real quick and go downhill really quick. So I don't like to have a lot of stuff pending. But there's a couple factors that I want to talk about. If you guys enjoy this video, please hit that thumbs up. If you just like the channel, hit the thumbs up button for me. It helps out the channel a lot. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your reasoning, because your reasoning in your comment could change my mind and my viewpoints. Nothing's changed, though. You know, I heard someone say today that, you know, the banking crisis, it's over. It's not over. It's not over. The only thing that's happening now is look back at what happened that caused the banking crisis. So the banking crisis happened because essentially they didn't have the liquidity in the markets, in their accounts, to kind of pay off all the stuff that they needed. If people start asking for their money, pulling money out, it dries up the money. They've got a lot of their money right now invested in bonds that have lost value. How have they lost value? They started buying these bonds at, 1%, and maybe they bought some at 2%, then 3%, 4%. I mean, now you're talking 5%. Well, the truth of the matter is nobody wants those 1% bonds anymore. They're junk at this point. Anybody that's going to buy is going to buy the new 5% bonds, essentially. They don't want the 1%. And so what do they do with them? Well, I mean, it's no big deal. They don't take a loss on them because they just sit on their books. Kind of like if you buy an ounce of silver at 30 and it goes down to 21, did you lose $9? Well, essentially you did, but I mean, it's not a big deal. You ain't selling, and the banks on one hand, it's not a big deal, but it kind of is because their money is tied up. And essentially, if customers start asking for their money because maybe they want to buy gold, maybe they want to buy silver, maybe they want to pay off their debt, maybe they want to go on vacation, who knows? But if they start asking for their money, the banks don't have all the money that belongs to the customers. And that's why the federal government, the Federal Reserve came out and said, you know what, if you really need to sell your bonds, you can sell them to us. We will give you full face value for your bonds. And essentially, it's not a big deal. You just buy them back off of our books once you have the money. But, I mean, things are only going to get worse. I mean, do you really think they're going to have the money tomorrow to buy them back? I'm not convinced they are. Really what they're doing, they're propping up the bond market, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, who's going to be left holding all these bonds? That's what I just don't really get, because you've already can see countries, China specifically, and multiple other countries selling off our bonds. Now, a lot of them are coming out and saying, well, it's because the markets are rough, we need the money, and the dollars are king. I think people are missing, though, the opportunity of how quick this can change. All it's going to take is another bank to go under. And some people say, well, it's no big deal because if the federal government can keep doing this, it's no big deal. And here's the thing, they can't keep doing this. At a certain point, the charts are just going to be that they've given banks back too much of their money, and who's going to be left holding the bag? The Federal Reserve. So I think eventually, at first I thought they were just going to do this for their buddies banks, Silicon Valley Bank, maybe that New York one, the banks that are big, that their friends are all a part of. I thought that would be the case, but they're continuing to do it. And what they don't want to see is more banks go under, because the more banks go under, essentially the weaker the system is or appears. And as the system appears to be weaker, less people are going to want to be invested in it. Now, one of the things that I heard is people are pulling their money out of their bank accounts because everything is going up in price and they don't have a savings account anymore. And that's a possibility. It is a very good possibility because everything is going up. But there's a whole second possibility out there that maybe people are pulling their money out of their accounts a little at a time because they're worried that, one, we might go to central bank digital currencies. Two, we're devaluing the dollar at too fast of a rate. And people are starting to get worried about it. I mean, I'll be honest, I pulled a lot of money out of my account. But here's the thing. I mean, did I spend it? Yes, I spent it. But what did I spend it on? I spent it on, different investments, specifically gold, silver, and a few other things. I might be picking up a pew or two tomorrow. Some of y'all know what I'm referring to. If you don't, you can definitely check out our Discord page under the security page, and you will see what I mean by that, pews. But I think everybody gets the gist that we're not really allowed to talk about the whole thing on YouTube. There's just so many rules that we can't really talk about, or we're not supposed to. However, I think people are missing the buying opportunity, and I feel bad. Do I hope silver goes down to $15? Absolutely. But when I read through the comments, a lot of people are just expecting it, and more YouTubers are picking up on this momentum. And I could have picked up on it by y'all's comments and came out here today and just said, silver's going to go down. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because y'all said it to me in your comments. However, I don't believe we can see it continue to go down too much. I know, and I don't say this in a bad way against anybody. I mean, think about it. We're a step away from banks going under, where inflation is really starting to rise in terms of the Federal Reserve picking up all these bonds, giving the monies back to the bank. I mean, everything going on is not adding up right now. And at some point, this is going to break. Now, I know some people say, well, if the economy breaks, you have the stock market collapse, and it's going to take gold and silver with it. And that's a possibility. But what people aren't seeing is how weak the dollar is getting compared to, I'll say, how do I say this? In terms of with what's going on with the BRICS and China making deals now with Saudi Arabia, so much oil is getting sold now without using the dollar. That's a lot of fees that we're not making now. And we're starting to see stuff happen. And here's the thing, next year's an election year. We've seen this time and time again. Election years usually do really bad for the economy. If you don't believe we're in a bad turn, just look at what's been happening. You're seeing more and more businesses start to close down. And if you look at key years in the past, we'll say 2020. I talked to someone about it today. I said, 2020, what happened? Well, you had, maybe you might say, the whole cough, and that's why the markets fell down. Maybe. 2008, what happened? Well, you had the whole housing crisis, so that's why the markets fell down. Okay. .com, 2000, what happened? That happened. The whole .com, that's what took the markets down. Okay. Let's see, 88, 80. A lot of people blame the 80 on inflation. 76. A lot of people base that off oil, and so on and so on. We see during election years, and the truth of the matter is we don't know who's going to be elected yet. And each of the two people that are potential candidates, I'm going to say, both have difference in beliefs. One wants more oil being pumped out of the ground and we want to be energy efficient. The other one wants to go 100% green and no exceptions, even though we're probably not equipped for that yet. Not probably, we're not equipped for that yet. Being an electrician, our grid has a lot of strain on it already, in my opinion. And I expect this winter to really show it, because I think we're going to have a bad winter. It's kind of crazy here in South Texas. We're supposed to have 69 degrees this weekend in the evening. And that's pretty cold for this time of the year. That's pretty insane. So with that being said, we're not ready for energy independence. We're not ready for a lot of stuff. And I don't think we're going to be able to go green. But there is a high demand on silver still. And I mean, we're going to see how it plays out, but hopefully people are taking advantage of this opportunity, this huge buying opportunity, and I'm going to keep my eyes on it closely. And if I see some major action in the market, I may go live wherever I am at any point. So I thank you all for watching. I hope you hit that thumbs up button. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you subscribed. I hope you commented, because I love reading y'all's comments. And if you are not a member and you want to become a member, it's only $1.99 to click that join button, and it supports the channel, and I really enjoy it. It really helps out the channel, and I thank you for that. But I know everybody's situation is different. So with that being said, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you all. Wish me luck on the weight loss contest that I'm in, and I will see you guys again on T Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.